Happy Friday, Northern California. ABC 10 meteorologist Brendan Minchef here with an extended look at the forecast. And I'll tell you what, it's rainy behind me here from the Alert California wildfire camera up near Georgetown. But the end of the wet weather is in sight. Just a couple more days to go after today, and then we'll be dry for the start of the new year. So let's hop into it. The first thing we're going to look at is rainfall totals. It's been a pretty decent storm. It's not an inch yet, but certainly Folsom, 3/4 of an inch. Vacaville, very similar number. San Joaquin Valley's done pretty good with this storm compared to the last few storms. Over 1/2 inch for Modesto, Manteca, and Stockton. Roseville, over 4/10 of an inch. Marysville, over 4/10 of an inch. Downtown Sacramento and Sacramento Executive coming up on that 4/10 mark. Davis, though, has been rain shadowed. Haven't seen much rain in Davis, just about 1/10 of an inch over the last 24 hours. Here's a look at the system that came through. Most of it was light to moderate rain. There were pockets of some heavier rain in the valley. What's interesting, though, is the snow. Snow levels have actually risen during this event. So what started as snow yesterday has transitioned over to rain, and then all of that is going to taper off as we go through the morning hours on Friday. I mean, look at this. There's not much snow left. It's basically all rain at this point as snow levels are climbing up above the passes and will be above pass level as we head into the weekend. It's not until Sunday with a slightly colder storm that comes on in that we'll see snowfall once again drop to the passes and even a little bit below. But as of 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday, you can see most of the rain in the valley at this point is over. Just some very, very light showers, and that's going to be the case basically for the rest of the morning. So winter weather advisory continues until noon on Friday for the Sierra. 2 to 5 inches of snow still to come above 6,000 feet. But again, the snow levels at this point are really pass level and above. So if you're below Donner or below Echo, you're seeing rain at this point. Some wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour are possible. We still are looking at high surf out along the coast. Now for Humboldt County, for Mendocino County, and up near Del Norte County, to the state line with Oregon. That high surf advisory has dropped off at this point. We're only looking at high surf down through the Bay Area and the Monterey Bay Area. For dangerous surf conditions, waves still 20 to 30 feet. That's going to continue into the weekend. This is for every Pacific-facing beach, so use extra caution near the water. Beach combing, so the act of looking for seashells or digging in the sand, all that is discouraged because it might mean you turn your back on the ocean, and you never want to do that in conditions like this. We've seen a lot of rogue waves, a lot of sneaker waves, and there's rip currents as well. So honestly, it's just better to stay out of the water and stay away from the water. Even if you are an experienced swimmer, this is the type of surf that you really have to know what you're doing if you're going to be in and around the water. So just keep that in mind as we head through the weekend. Back here in the valley, the strongest winds at this point are dying down. It's not going to be what we saw this morning. Parts of the valley this morning saw wind gusts in excess of 45 miles per hour. Sacramento International Airport recorded a gust of 48 miles per hour early this morning. By lunchtime on Friday, those wind gusts are dying down just about anywhere from really 20 to 25 miles per hour. It'll stay gusty in the Sierra throughout the daytime, but by 4 o'clock in the valley, those winds are pretty much gone. A little breezy once again overnight Friday into Saturday. Not like what we saw certainly this morning. And as we go through the daytime on Saturday, it stays a little breezy, especially in the upper valley and in the high country. High temperatures on Friday going to be in those upper 50s, low 60s. Now, we have the rain and the wind this morning, but by the time we get to this afternoon, I don't expect we're going to have any more rain in the area. As we look at Futurecast, light showers for the rest of the morning, but those really taper off once we get to the first part of the afternoon. By the mid-afternoon to late afternoon, I'm looking at overcast skies, maybe a few peaks of sunshine here and there, but that's going to be about it. So no rain expected really through the afternoon. We'll see some showers potentially building back in late tonight, but not much. There's not much moisture with this rainfall event coming in on Saturday. It'll be light showers to start the morning, then we're likely dry for the rest of the day in the valley. The low to mid elevation is going to see some showers throughout Saturday afternoon. That's about it, though, and no snow is expected on Saturday. For Sunday, overnight, Saturday into Sunday, we'll see some light showers, but Sunday morning, there is a heavier band of rain that is expected to move on through. This is Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. You see moderate to heavy rainfall in parts of the valley. In high snow levels for Sunday morning. It's not until a little later in the day on Sunday that those snow levels start to come back down. So a mainly rain event for Sunday. We will end up with some snow, but it comes in at the tail end of that event. Forecast rainfall totals through Saturday evening in the valley, maybe a 1/10 of an inch. There's just not much there. In the foothills, anywhere from a 1/10 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch of rain. By the time we get to that Sunday storm, though, this is now Sunday at 6 p.m. Now we're looking at about a 1/2 an inch of rain on Sunday. So the next rainmaker really isn't until Sunday. Yes, we could see some light showers Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, likely only a few hundredths of an inch, though, whatever falls with those storms. Sunday is going to see more rain compared to what we'll see the rest of Friday and into Saturday. Very similar story in terms of snow. Through Friday afternoon, we're seeing just a dusting basically, and most of that is even towards Yosemite south of 108. Through Saturday, a similar story, just a dusting across some of the highest peaks. By Sunday, though, when that colder air finally filters in, this is Sunday at 6 p.m., we see maybe a foot of snow at Donner, maybe a foot of snow for places in the greater Tahoe region. But honestly, at the passes, because the snow levels are going to be high, it's not likely that we're going to see all that much snow, less than a foot. A foot is the high-end forecast for Sunday snowfall at this point. Over the next 7 days, the end of the rainy pattern, like I said a few minutes ago, is in sight because we see those showers Friday, some Saturday, the next rain event Sunday, with maybe even a few peaks of sunshine Sunday afternoon. But by the time we get to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday into 2025, we enter a drier pattern. It will be colder in the afternoons, low to mid 50s for the last day of the year and the first day of next year. And it'll be especially colder in the mornings. I'll be looking at high temperatures in the mid to upper 30s Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning. However, again, we are dry going forward. This really is the end of the rainy pattern for the foreseeable future, which is good news really for the holidays, right? For the New Year's forecast, New Year's Eve, like I said, it's going to start colder in the 30s, both New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Highs in the middle 50s, low to mid 50s, really. But we'll even have some sunshine, especially December 31st. We'll have some sunshine, maybe some clouds building in through the evening. We'll keep an eye on that for sure. But to start 2025, it is looking dry and partly cloudy. The 8 to 14 day climate outlook, this is January 3rd through 9th. Very likely cooler across the eastern half of the United States, and that's especially true for the mid-Atlantic and parts of the southeast. Very likely warmer for much of the west coast down into the southern Great Plains and Texas. Zooming in a little bit, California is kind of the bullseye here. Arizona, Nevada, California, very likely warmer to start the new year. Also very likely drier to start the new year across parts of the southwest, whereas we're leaning a bit wetter up in the upper plains and parts of the northern Rockies. So the end of the wet pattern, at least for the next 2 weeks or so, is just around the corner. Over the next 3 days, temperatures climb a little bit for Saturday, then drop a little bit into Sunday, looking at upper 50s and low 60s. That's the wet pattern, though, just the next 3 days, like we talked about. By Monday, Tuesday, we are dry, maybe some clouds, colder in the mornings for sure, a little cooler in the afternoons as well, low to mid 50s. That's the end of 2024. The start of 2025 sees partly cloudy skies, mornings in the 30s and low 40s, afternoons in the low to mid 50s. But again, we're dry. So just a few more days here of these wet conditions, and then it's over for the foreseeable future. January's our wettest month of the year. So we typically see a lot of rain in January. It's not going to start wet. That doesn't mean it will last that long, though. I would say after about the 10 to 14 days, after 10 to 14 days into January, I think we're going to start to see a flip back to wetter, just kind of based on some of the longer range models. But of course, that is highly subject to change as it's quite a ways out, at least in terms of the weather world. If you're watching on YouTube, I recommend downloading the ABC 10 Plus app. We've got a weather playlist so you can watch extended forecasts just like this one. We've got weather explainers up there. We also have several weather and climate and water specials that are all about 30 minutes in length. And so I'd highly recommend you check those out if you want to know more about California's weather and climate. Thanks for watching.